All right, welcome back to ABA exam review and the continuation of our BCBA practice exam series where we're going through another set of questions together and breaking them down. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're turning, welcome back. Please like and subscribe. Check out behavioranalyststudy.com for all of our study materials, including our combo pack. When you pass your exam, please let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. Let's get going. Tina is excited to start parent training with her new client. She believes a lot of progress can be made if the plan is implemented with fidelity. After 2 months of trying, Tina is discouraged to see that data show she has only completed 2 parent training sessions, while parents have canceled every other one. What are Tina's options? So looking at Tina's options due to the fact that parents are not participating in parent training. And what you'll find is, especially with insurance-funded services, parent training is typically a requirement. Even if it's not a requirement, you should push for, encourage, and host parent trainings, because without parent training, our outcomes are likely going to be worse. In Tina's case, she wants to do parent training. She's tried for 2 months. It just hasn't happened. So in this case, what are Tina's options? What can Tina do here, given she's tried and given that the parents are not following through? A, Tina must continue trying to schedule parent trainings, but cannot discontinue service. That is not correct. Given Tina's efforts to try to get parents involved, if Tina feels that the parents' refusal to follow the plan and get involved is hurting the client, Tina is able to discontinue services. Let's look at B. Tina may discontinue service if she feels the parents have not done their part. It's been 2 months, which is a long time frame. If it had only been a week, that might have been a different story. But 2 months of trying where the parents are not getting involved and not engaged, Tina does have that right and that option to discontinue service. What about C? Tina should continue trying to schedule parent trainings, but should warn the parents services may be discontinued if change isn't made. She can also do that. So she can still proceed, give the parents another chance, while also giving the warning. So Tina can do either. That is her right according to our task list and our ethical code. If Tina isn't getting what she needs from the parents and she believes it's hurting the client, she has that right to discontinue services. So the answer here is going to be both B and C. Britton, a behavior analyst, writes out a treatment plan for decreasing self-injurious behavior. This treatment plan has been implemented easily by other analysts and technicians and has demonstrated a functional relationship between the plan and the behavior decrease. This decrease is also maintained in several different environments. What dimension is missing from the description? So when we're dealing with dimension questions, they can be a little tricky because a lot of them kind of seem similar and they go together. And in this case, you're going to have to identify the missing dimension, which is going to be even more challenging. Let's think about this. Britton writes out a treatment plan for decreasing self-injurious behavior. Doesn't seem to be any dimension. This treatment plan has been implemented easily by other analysts and technicians, meaning what? If this treatment plan is implemented easily by other analysts and technicians, that indicates it's probably technological. So we seem to have technological. Let's continue. Demonstrated a functional relationship between the plan and the behavior decrease. When we establish that functional relationship, that means we've been analytic. This decrease is also maintained in several different environments. This is the easiest one, I think. That's generality. So let's go to our answer choices. Did we mention conceptually systematic? We didn't. Just because Britton wrote a treatment plan doesn't mean it was conceptually systematic. We don't talk about here what interventions or methods Britton used. Just that B, it generalized to different environments. C, there was a functional relationship. And D, it was technological. What's missing here, though, is a clear indicator that the plan was, in fact, conceptually systematic. You assess a client who engages in repetitive vocalizations throughout the day, both when interacting with others and when alone. The behavior occurs across various settings, including when no one is present and when there are no apparent external consequences. In some instances, the behavior decreases when the client is given a preferred activity. Based on this information, which of the following best explains what is likely maintaining the vocalizations? All right, pretty straightforward question, pretty straightforward consequence question. Let's think about this in terms of function, because when we talk about maintaining behavior, as analysts, we are thinking about function and consequence. So we have a client, they engage in vocalizations with others and when alone. It occurs across various settings, including when no one is present and no external consequences. So immediately, if we know the behavior happens when no one is there and no external consequences, you've got to immediately think automatic, right? Because just because there are instances where there is social consequence, it still happens when there is none. So we have to consider this an automatic based behavior because the behavior happens when there is no one present and then no apparent consequences. Additionally, the behavior sometimes decreases when given a preferred activity. So socially mediated punishment actually decreases the behavior. We're looking at, though, what maintains the vocalization. So we're looking at the reinforcement piece. So A, socially mediated positive reinforcement. Well, it does happen with others, but there's no indication of what's maintaining it when they are with others. But we do know it is automatic because it happens when no one is present and there are no socially mediated consequences. So B is going to be the better answer. What about socially mediated negative reinforcement? Well, same thing as socially mediated positive reinforcement. It's not clear if the social mediation is what's maintaining the behavior. All we know is social mediation of a consequence decreases the behavior. So our answer is going to be automatic reinforcement. It's a pretty straightforward question, but the wording, if we're not careful and we're not reading carefully, can get a little confusing. What we know for sure is that this happens automatically when no one is around and there are no external consequences. A child is learning to identify different types of vehicles. The child identified a car, a truck, and a boat as vehicles, even though they all have different topographies. What concept is demonstrated by the three stimuli receiving the label of vehicle? So let's think about this. We are looking at our three stimuli that are all vehicles. So if you have stimuli A, B, and C, and they're all evoking the label vehicle, what are we going to consider that? A stimulus. Well, a stimulus is one, right? A stimulus is one item. So the car is a stimulus, the truck is a stimulus, a boat is a stimulus. We're talking about when they're all together, right? They're all receiving the label of vehicle. They're all a class evoking this behavior, making them a B stimulus class. When we talk about C and D, response generalization and response differentiation, we're not dealing with the responses here, right? We're talking about the three stimuli. So again, let's read carefully. When you read carefully, you can quickly identify these answer choices that are either not related, they're nonsense, or they're to throw you off, right? The question is asking about the stimuli. So we're not worried about the responses. We're talking about the stimuli of the car, the truck, and the boat acting as a class, evoking vehicle, making this B stimulus class. Which of the following is not true about verbal behavior or verbal operants according to Skinner's analysis of verbal behavior? So we have a verbal behavior question and a not true question, meaning you need to read carefully, right? Not true. What is not true about verbal behavior or verbal operants? A, verbal behavior is reinforced through mediation of another person's actions. Yes, according to Skinner, you've got a listener, you've got a speaker, and that verbal behavior is reinforced from another person's actions. B, commands are controlled by motivating operations, true, and result in generalized condition reinforcement. Now, what are commands reinforced by? Commands are reinforced by whatever was requested. So if I request an item, I should get reinforced with that item. So B does not appear to be true. C, verbal behavior involves the use of a learned communication system. That is also true. That can be sign language, that can be spoken language. And then D, tasks are evoked by nonverbal stimuli, which is true, and are reinforced by generalized reinforcement, which is true regardless of the item being labeled. That is also true. So the incorrect or not true idea here is that commands are reinforced or result in generalized condition reinforcement? Man's should result in whatever was mandated for. Fantastic. Thank you for watching. Check out behavioranalyststudy.com for all of our study materials, including our combo pack. Subscribe for all of our updates. We post every week 3 BCBA videos per week, and also our RBT materials as well. When you pass, let us know so we can include you in the Sunday shout out. Work hard, study hard. See you soon.